Good morrow, Wolfpack.
And welcome back to another episode of Wolfpack Chats. Now, Camila, I have an idea. Let's start doing lists for Wolfpack Chats. Yeah, people like lists.
Yep.
So, we decided to do what we love doing and talk about movies. So, here's our list for
Top 10 most disappointing movies
of 2015. Now, a little disclaimer. Of course, we couldn't see every single movie that came out this year, so we did miss a few obvious ones like Jupiter Ascending, whatever else we haven't seen, so keep that in mind when you see this list.
This is our personal preference.
Yeah.
You know.
And yeah, we could only do movies we've seen.
Yep.
Clearly. Alright, so let's start this list.
Starting at number 10. Black Mass. Alright. Before you guys all come at me, it was a good movie with Jack Black. Jack Black.
You know this list, but not for this movie. He's pretty good in this movie, I feel like.
Alright, Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp, he did really good, alright? As a drama movie, okay? Drama movie, excellent movie. But when they portrayed this movie in the trailers, they didn't portray it as an action movie. We were like, oh my god, this is an awesome movie, I wanna watch it. You go to the movie theaters and I watch it. It's like, okay. Like halfway through the movie, I had to like tell myself, okay, watch this as a drama movie, and it was a good movie. But as people there were for action, they're like, what is this? Where's the people dying? Where's people? It didn't happen. And you just there said, if you're there for the action, you just sat there like, okay.
That's exactly what it was for me. That's exactly what
See?
I think it goes on this list. Coming in at number 9, we have Spectre. Now, Spectre. It's part of the James Bond franchise, which has been with us for 25 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Actually, I think more like 60s.
I'm not sure how back.
It
goes far back.
Really long, like the longest franchise there's ever been. And so the latest one is Spectre. And Daniel Craig checked out. He checked out. Like, you can even see it in recent interviews with him. He's like, I want to talk about James Bond. Like, damn.
Yeah.
So it's like,
he's tired of it.
He's like, okay, we're sorry. But yeah, that was clear seeing this movie. Like, there were good action sequences, of course, but overall, the movie, it was lacking. And for a lacking movie, you need, like, your leading man to be great, but he, of course, checked out. So those combinated was not good. So that's why it's on this list.
Yep. Coming in at number 8.
We have The Gambler. Now, The Gambler came out at the beginning of this year, and it stars Mark Wahlberg, and his character is a...
Gambler.
He is a gambler.
Okay.
And he's also a college professor who doesn't like his job. He's like, he doesn't like care for it that much, and he actually falls in love with one of the students, but I don't really want to talk about that.
Okay.
But yeah, the movie is just, it's a lot of, there was like potential for this movie, but for a lot of the movie, you're like, why is this in the movie? Like, why is this a movie? Like, it sounds like a good idea, like in a board meeting, but like for seeing it as a movie, it's like, it's lacking.
For number 7,
we have Goosebumps. Now, Goosebumps came out recently, starring Jack Black as R.L. Stine. He did a pretty good job as R.L. Stine, but the thing is, here's the problem with the movie. It's not Goosebumps. Like, what people want from this movie is to be based on one of the Goosebumps books, and for it to be scary, but this was just a family movie. Have any of you seen Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed, where you see a bunch of monsters from the original Scooby-Doo cartoons and they bring them to life as real life and scary monsters? Well, that's what this movie did. They brought all the Goosebumps like monsters to life, all to attack Jack Black all of a sudden. And that's not what we want from a Goosebumps movie. That's not it is 90s nostalgia, but not the good kind.
Scares the kid, that's what we want.
Yeah, it's like scare us a bit. Like, I get it's for a kids movie, but I mean, in the 90s, like, adults can appreciate the Goosebumps books. And I loved the Goosebumps books when I was growing up. And so it was disappointing.
Now, coming in at number 6.
We have
Chappie. It's one of those movies, I know lots of you loved it, like, oh, it's about a robot, you have feelings for him, it was pretty good at doing that, okay, yeah. But we saw this movie already, people. Remember Hugh Jackman in Real Steel? Found a robot. You love him. You fall in love with the robot, and then he has to like fight, and people want to destroy him. Same thing with Chappie. People want to destroy Chappie. It's different scenarios. It's pretty much the same thing. And then it's just Chappie's just real steel with guns and explosions. People want to get, for real steel is just not really destroying, but put him down and make him lose. Chappie, they want to kill him and destroy him. When the end of the movie, they succeed. People are happy. People are like, oh yay, he made it. They didn't die. Number 5.
We have Project Almanac.
All right. This is one of those movies. Like again, you've already watched it. These kids that find a time machine. They go back in time. They mess things up. And gotta fix the issue. Oh, kids messing up and have to fix the issue. What does it sound like?
Have you ever seen the movie Chronicle? Well, that movie was good. This one wasn't, and this one had to do with time travel. Now coming in at number 4, we have Hitman Agent 47. Now, let's all talk about video game movies for a second. Camilo, they've been terrible.
Yes.
I can barely think of a good
Mortal
one.
Kombat suck.
Oh my god. Let's not even list them right now because I don't even want to think about it. But this movie, I saw the trailer for Hitman Agent 47. Like, oh my god, this looks great.
Is it gonna be finally a good video game movie?
Yeah. So I was watching this in the theater, and for a while I thought I was watching the first Terminator movie. Like that's what it was for me. Like for the first half of it, it's too much like Terminator. Like that's what was going on, and like the action sequences, they were good, but as an overall, it wasn't enough to like make me think it was a good movie because it wasn't. Coming in at number 3, we got Terminator Genesis. Speaking of Terminator, now when I first saw this movie, I was like, I kind of like it. Okay, let me explain. I watched it a second time and I disliked it more. And here's the reason why this movie isn't good. It is because it went, hey, those first 2 Terminators everyone loves? Let's erase them from the timeline and start from scratch. That's right, that's what this movie did. So in this movie, Kyle Reese goes back in time to 1984 to save Sarah Connor from the Terminator that was coming to, kill her and stop John Connor from being born. So when Reese arrives in 1984, it turns out Sarah already knows all of this. And she has a Terminator of her own, old Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it wasn't good because the first Kyle Reese in the first movie, he was humble, he was loving, he would do anything for Sarah. But in this movie, he was obnoxious. He wasn't a good Reese.
Number 2.
We have Fantastic Four.
Oh, we actually had hope for this one.
Hey, you know how superhero movies have been doing good lately?
Mm-hmm.
You know how we have been surprises like Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers have been great. And well, that's not the case for this one. No.
We thought it was.
Yeah. And this movie is the most dark, it was the most depressing, and it was the most stupidest thing that was ever shown in the theater. Which had a superhero skin on it. Because the characters like Reed Richards, Johnny Storm, Victor Von Doom, they built a machine that took them to space, but the government won't let them go. And I think they have good reason because they're not actually trained astronauts, they're not professionals. So they decided to get drunk. And we're like, hey, let's go anyway while no one's here. So they go. And that's where they get their powers. And that's just, it's what? And Reed Richards is checking his Instagram while he's there. It's what is happening? It was terrible. Like, if at least you could watch the first 2 Fantastic Four movies, like, hey, it's campy, it's fun. Like, at least you could enjoy those movies somewhat.
Have a couple of giggles.
But this one's like not funny. It's not anything positive. And oh yeah, they're not even a team for the most of the movie. They're just like, when they're fighting Von Doom at the end, they're like, hey, what's it like? I don't know. And and all they had to do was punch him in the face. Was like, oh, I'm dead.
Number 1.
The most disappointing movie 2015 was
SpongeBob Movie 2, Sponge Out of Water. It was pretty much stupid. It was stupid comedy. It wasn't that funny. It didn't have that much jokes for us people who like love SpongeBob and have been watching SpongeBob since we were kids. And now we're adults. We like those adult little jokes they put in there. Was there any of that? Nay. There was only.
Now watch me wet.
And then they also got a better rating than SpongeBob 1, George.
SpongeBob 2 has a 78 on Rotten Tomatoes, and the first one has a 60.
What?
They have to get out of here.
What? Made George cry.
Here's the problem with this movie. So, in the first movie, they put all their eggs into one basket because they were thinking, hey, we're just gonna make this one movie. So, but a decade later, they were like, hey, I kind of want some money. Want to make SpongeBob 2? Yeah, I do.
Sure.
But it was terrible. Okay, the first movie had world domination. It had someone was gonna die.
Don't make me cry. Come on.
Yeah. Assassin, romance, sort of. Comedy for both children and adults, because SpongeBob is one of those cartoons where even adults could enjoy it. And what else am I missing? You know, it had everything.
Yeah.
That you.
Great
Oh yeah,
movie.
SpongeBob Patrick almost died in that movie.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, if I were to see it again, I think I would just cry.
Yeah. They're like, oh my god.
Even though I know what's gonna happen.
They get drunk in that movie.
Oh yeah, they
Drunk.
get drunk on ice cream. Like that's great. But this movie, what did it have? SpongeBob and Plankton in SpongeBob 2 were accused of stealing the formula. And for the first half of the movie, they're like, it looked like they were just making it up as we go along. It's like, hey, let's go in this cave. Hey, I don't even remember what they did and it turns out Antonio Banderas was a pirate and that's who stole the formula. So our beloved,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, our beloved characters went over water as superheroes, and how did they look?
Oh my god.
Like
A cheap
Gross.
costume. Yeah.
And to top it all off, that movie ends with like a rap battle between a talking dolphin and a bunch of seagulls. Now, the guys who make Apparatus of History and S. Peter and Epic Lloyd were in this. They made a cameo and they wrote the rap battle, but even they couldn't like make this movie good. And I love them. Like I'm a huge fan of them, but it just hated this movie completely. Ruined my childhood. It was everything complete garbage.
Big disappointment. And then there you have it, guys. Top 10 most disappointing movies of 2015.
Yeah, we were gonna do a 10 best movies of 2015, but we haven't seen Star Wars yet.
Gotta wait to see it.
It could have been on this list.
It could have been.
We don't know yet, but
We are hoping it's in the other.
yeah, it's a new hope, one might say. Because I trust J.J. Abrams, and I also trust the trailers that I've seen. So I don't think we're gonna have a prequel sort of situation again. So hopefully it'll show up on this.
Alright.
But anyway, thank you for watching, liking, and commenting. Let us know down in the comments what your list is, if you agree with ours, and what movies with this. Because of course, we couldn't have seen every movie. So that's why we decided to make do with what movies we've seen this year.
And don't forget to subscribe, guys.
And also like our Facebook page, which is right here. That's when videos are going up and funny memes when we feel like posting funny memes. Okay. So yeah.
It's time for something.
Is it? I don't know. I can't tell you that.
I think it's time for our Lone Wolves to
Roll out.
Oh!